Hey, and welcome back to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to dive into more playoff content and talk about the Miami Heat versus Trae Young. Trae Young has been put on stall during these playoffs against the Miami Heat, and in this video, we're going to really go into what the Heat have done to make themselves so successful in this first round playoff series. We're going to start this off by taking a look at some images of this series. So in this first one, we'll see Trae Young is getting downhill in the paint, and look at the three bodies surrounding him. Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Dwayne Dedmon are all there impacting the play. Trae is struggling to get to the hoop. And in this next play, you can see Tyler Hero, PJ Tucker, and you can't necessarily tell who's in that background, but I think it's Max Strus, are all there. They're in the space of Trae Young, making him make a really tough decision with the ball in his hands. Now, let's take a look at the shooting chart via NBA.com. He is struggling from beyond the arc. The Heat are up in his grill, forcing him to really tough jumpers from deep. Along with that, he's not finding success at the rim either. The Heat are doing a great job at rotating toward the rim, but we're going to dive into more of what the Heat are doing to make them so successful from beyond the arc and at the rim. So with that being said, let's dive into the Miami Heat's defensive scheme versus the Atlanta Hawks in this first round matchup. This first clip could really set the tone for what we're going to talk about with their scheme. He comes down the floor with Jimmy Butler as the primary, then PJ Tucker, then Bam Adebayo. They have three big-time defenders guarding him, along with Kyle Lowry and Max Strus doing an awesome job this series, along with Duncan, Tyler. Everybody's performing well one-on-one. And then look at this. The box is loaded, the ball is guarded straight up, and Trae Young has no angle to get an attack to the rim, forcing him into a really tough three off the bounce. There's been a lot of that throughout the series. In this clip, you'll see it too. He gets up into the screen, the ball is active, Dedmon's active in that drop, getting to the level of the ball. Gabe Vincent's up in the space of the ball. Then look behind. Duncan's up in the gap. Jimmy's at the nail. Tyler's plugging the rim. Trae is forced into a really tough three again. This is going to be the story of the series where Trae Young is getting really good one-on-one. The box is loaded behind. There's activity in the gap that you can see in this clip by Tyler Hero and then Gabe Vincent after. And it forces Trae into a really tough shot. The Miami Heat had shown an ability to put a crowd in front of Trae Young too. In this clip, they down the ball screen, Bam gets in front, PJ staying in front of the dive, and Max is up in the gap with the blocks loaded. This is putting Trae in a tough situation, forcing him into a really tough two. In this clip too, in transition, you'll see Trae tries to get downhill, and then look at the paint. There's three bodies in the paint. You get Bam coming at the rim, Tyler dropping behind, Duncan stunning at the ball, forcing him into a really tough two. This ability by the Heat to constantly clog the paint and really make things tough at the rim has hurt Trae Young significantly in this series. In this clip, look, you got Cody Martin taking the charge, you got PJ coming in trying to avoid the lob, and Max coming behind to really plug up the rim and make things hard down there for the big. One last clip of the Heat protecting the paint. As Trae Young gets downhill off the screen as PJ switches, you'll see they stunt at him at the nail, and then look at this. All five guys are essentially in the paint. The middle of the rim's plugged. Kyle Lowry's in on the big. Jimmy Butler's there to make a play. It's just all there, making it really tough on Trae Young and eventually leading to a charge by Martin. Along with the Heat being disruptive in the paint, they've also been highly disruptive on the perimeter, getting up into the ball and making Trae work. On switches, they switch up and over. They're getting up one step over the three-point line, active hands, active feet, contesting all jump shots. In this clip, you'll see even on the switch, both guys are able to get a hand up and really affect the jump shot as Trae's trying to force from deep due to the heavy ball pressure and great weak side, help side activity in the paint. The Heat are doing their part in these switches to really make sure that they're containing. This clip will show an awesome example of that, as Max Strus stays in the play to really corral Trae and forces him into a three. Along with containing the drive, the amount of bodies being shown and staying with him, corralling, being active in the gap has also forced a number of turnovers in that next pass, in kickouts, while also just putting an insane amount of pressure on the ball, forcing Trae into really tough passes and plays that you're seeing in these clips. The amount of bodies and pressure is just really hard for the small Trae Young to get by. A lot of the Heat players are bigger with great size and athleticism, and it's just incredibly tough for somebody at Trae's size to make plays consistently with the amount of physicality, length, and pressure being put on him on a consistent basis in these first four games. Going into Game 5, Trae Young is going to have to find success somewhere, but it's going to be really tough for him due to what the Heat have done in the first 4 games and are probably going to continue to in Game 5 with great physicality, athleticism, length, and pressure. So the Heat in this series, to really break it down, are switching switchables and basically switching all on Trae Young. They're having active hands, active feet. They're showing in the gaps heavily, really putting a crowd in front of Trae Young. They're packing the box, and they are really trying to put Trae in situations where he can't make a play, where he's 30 feet from the hoop pulling up, where he's getting downhill. But guess what? You got Bam Adebayo and 3 other guys packing the paint, so God help you making a play. You're going to have to hit really tough twos to beat us, and you're going to have your teammates shoot very well to beat us like they did in Game 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about what has made the Heat so successful in this first round matchup versus Atlanta. And for more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you guys in the next one.